How do we get to this point of the match? Let's take a look at our Grand Casino road to the championship. Randy?
Match number 1, Tom Doherty and Anthony Simonson. Doherty with a big strike in the 8th. Simonson had a chance, so he doubled up 6th and 7th, and then disaster. Gutter ball in the 8th. Tom Doherty, big strike here in the 10th frame to seal the deal. He wins 198 to 183. Then in match number 2, Doherty takes on Chris Barnes. Barnes, all kinds of trouble early on. 4 splits in a row, but he was able to convert the 210 in the 2nd. Doherty got a 3-bagger early. Big strike here in the 8th. Another strike in the 10th frame, and he locks it up easily, 193 to 169. And then he takes on the reigning 3-time Player of the Year.
Yeah! Yeah! He can't beat me!
He takes down Belmonte 255 to 225, setting up our great title match.
Bill, your thoughts on this match? How do you preview it?
I think you have to give the edge to Doherty. He's the seasoned veteran. He's been on TV, you know, a fair amount of times, and this is Francois' first show, so I always go with the guy with the experience.
Let's see how this begins. Good start, Tom Doherty.
Bill, what did you see with Frankie in warm-ups and how he was going to play the oil pattern?
Well, he was fishing around quite a bit between a urethane ball and a reactive ball, so I think he was trying to decide whether or not he was going to hook it a little more or stay right of Doherty with a urethane ball, and from the looks of it, it looks like he's going to try to stay further right than of Tom and use a urethane ball.
You see how close to the thumb and finger holes that track is on that urethane bowling ball. No flare. Old school.
He gets his hand right up the back of the ball.
First ever TV shot. Francois Lavoie of City and a double wood.
You like that, Bill? I mean, do you like that look?
I think, you know, just like everybody else on the show, he has to get a little bit slower. You know, first shot on TV, the heart rate's up, and you're jittery, and it's almost always firmer than you want it to be. And you know, the rev rate comes down a little bit, and so hopefully he can get a spare here and then settle himself down a little bit.
Those first couple of shots for your first time ever on television, you're sweating like Shaq at the free throw line. I mean, it's brutal.
Can't be easy.
That better hook.
2-8 covers nicely. It's got to feel good. Get the mark. So Frankie Lavoie. And Bill and Randy, let's take a look at his form.
Bill, why don't you handle this?
This is a very classic style. I mean, this is a little more old school than somebody you would normally see at 23, even though he does keep that lead arm in front, which is a very you know, new school approach. But just everything he does is very, very technically sound and just very smooth.
I like that pivot step being open, gets the hips open. He's got a nice looking game though, Bill. Real clean hand at the bottom.
Not a lot of moving parts, which is what you want in bowling. You want to be as, the repeatability of it is extremely important, and I think that's what he does best. His game is just very, very sound.
He does have a little bit of movement in his backswing, but he repeats it, and upper body is just extremely stable.
3 matches so far. Tom Doherty's strike numbers, trying to keep it going here. Does that. Good looking shot, just like his match with Belmonte. A good start for Doherty here in the championship match.
Well, Bill, when he gets it back from that spot, I think Francois is in big trouble.
I think so as well. I mean, that shot was definitely right off his hand, and you know, the fact that he was able to carry it is huge. I thought it was going to hit the pocket, but I thought a flat 10 was probably the most likely result.
Doherty, a 10-time regional titleist. No help on number 10. Guys, that was interesting that in speaking yesterday with Tom, we met with all the bowlers in the show, that Tom seemed the most relaxed. As if, you know, I'm going to go in to this Wolf Open feeling like I've got nothing to lose. And he's played that way, I think.
I think that's just his personality. He's always like that. But Bill, I think that soft 10 is what you expected in the second frame.
Yeah, I think the difference was that one didn't get all the way to the gutter. So when the driest part of the lane here is on the first and second board, so when you get it to that far right, it has a chance to carry. Where if you don't, he was a little bit firm on that one, and it wasn't quite at his target, so ball just didn't have enough down the lane to carry.
Frankie, 2-time champ, Wichita State team. Sorry, Randy, about that. ITC and also the singles title for the Shockers. great collegiate career at that amazing program. So many pros and all 10 down.
I was saying a lot of nice things about him, and I forgot that he went to Wichita State. So I should probably change my opinion.
You change all that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, finally, young William.
I'm from Saginaw, bold Saginaw Valley, so that was
Right.
our big rival in school. And
How far did you guys play in the championship at ITC, or how far did you go in terms of competing against Wichita State?
we bowled him a couple times
Yeah.
at nationals in the rounds before to get to the TV show.
Got it. There's the arsenal.
Pitch black on the right lane, IQ on the left. Interesting. What say you, William?
He's got it figured out. I mean, I guess he sees that urethane balls must be going a lot longer on the left lane, so he wanted to use the reactive ball to eliminate that, the amount of oil that's down the lane.
And is the left lane not the tighter of the two lanes? It looked like it was tighter down lane to start.
It looked like that to me as well, but that's why he's bowling and
Avoids trouble there, and just the 4-7 could have been a lot worse.
Looks like Mr. Momentum has changed his address.
and Francois was pretty married to the idea of using a urethane ball this whole time, because that's what he used the entire qualifying in the Cashers round. So for him to be able to make that move ball on the left lane on the fly like that says a lot about him.
There's the 4-7. First time today that Tom Doherty has trailed in a match, as Lavoie is off to a great start.
Now this is how the two players are playing the right lane. Frankie Lavoie on the left, Doherty on the right, and you can see that Doherty is a little closer to second arrow, and Frankie actually right of first arrow. Doherty trailing. That hasn't happened a lot today.
That's right. High, and the 6-pin for Tom Doherty. Unfamiliar territory. Randy, how do you come back from that? You've been ahead the whole time.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot to lose your ball reaction, especially in the middle of a game. He's had a nice run. He got by a couple of opponents that didn't really challenge him. The last match against Belmonte had a great look. His execution was good, and it's not uncommon for that to go away after just a few shots.
And his shot there, when he let it go, he thought it had to hook, and it actually went high. So I think his next shot on this lane, he's not going to be very sure what his ball's going to do.
Practically. Frankie here, business administration major at Wichita State. Dabbles in the IT field, but mostly he is a full-time bowler. Fifth frame, looks for the 4-bagger here. And a 10-pin.
That was a beautiful shot. Only to come back with a ring and 10. That's very unfortunate. Working on a 3-bagger, and I mean, talk about trusting it.
Yeah, that's a shot he definitely wanted that one. And when he let it go, he was probably pretty sure there was a strike. So that's a big letdown for him.
Pretty poised for his first telecast here on the PBA Tour, and at 23 years of age. Pretty solid halfway through this game, Bill.
It's his demeanor. It's always like this.
Chris Barnes, Francois Lavoie, played at Wichita State. So many greats under Coach Vatican coming through that program. Chris, 18 tour titles. Francois' first ever TV show, so the old guard and the youngster.
Was Frankie even born when Chris turned pro?
He's born in '93.
That was
23 years ago.
What you told me that Chris said he was going to say about me.
Oh yeah, Chris told me before the show that we were talking about his age difference, and then he said that you were too old to even be the seniors.
Thanks.
So.
Lots more to come. Our title match here from Thunderbolt in Detroit.
Tom Strobel, owner of Thunderbolt Lanes here in suburban Detroit. Thanks to Tom and his great staff for all their hospitality. My first time here, Randy, historic bowling center. The arena as it's known in this great bowling area of Detroit.
Tom's a great host, and we truly appreciate his hospitality. Tom Doherty now trailing by 13 midway through the championship match. Moved in, Bill. Looked like he moved in and created a little more angle.
I think what he saw in that left lane on that last shot scared him a little bit, so I think he's going to move in, and I think that was probably a little firmer than he wanted to, and I think this one here he's probably going to move a couple left and get his speed back down.
That looked like the old Dick Weber trip 5-7. I saw that on YouTube. That's the only reason why I can reference that.
Exactly.
It wasn't
You're
like
not that old.
It wasn't like I was around when he actually did it.
Cut to 3 here, guys. 7th frame. Looks for the double. Big shot. Tom Doherty. Yes. Wow. All 10 down. Finds that 1-3 pocket perfectly. And we've got ourselves a great match here.
Apparently I'm better as a ball rep than I am as a bowler. I need a new job.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got a great set of eyes, and you called it, Bill. I mean, that was perfect. He did move in and gave it a little more room. But, you know, the key in what makes a champion is investing in the move. I mean, trusting it, doing it, and committing to it so that you can pry it off.
That's the biggest thing. You have to commit. Whatever you do, it has to be 100% committed.
7th frame to go back up 13 pin. 10 pin.
Identical back-to-back shots on that right lane for Francois Lavoie. 2 ring and 10s in between strikes. He was on a 3-bagger, did the same thing in the 5th, comes back in the 6th with a strike, and another ring and 10 on the right lane. Good news is he gets to finish the match on the left lane.
Ten pin. Let's flash back. ITC Team Championships for Wichita State. And Francois Lavoie, part of a team title for the Shockers. 2 times he won a team championship, and once in singles as well. That was 2014, that team title we saw. So lots of winning in his past.
Almost disaster coming in light, leaving the 248. Was that just a little firm, Bill?
That was firm, for sure. I think that goes to what you were talking about earlier about how we saw this lane being tighter down lane, and then as soon as that speed gets up a little bit, it has no chance.
Well, spare here, we'll have a tied ball game heading into the 8th frame for Doherty.
Cover and cannot. It's an open frame and an 8-pin count.
Well, he's looking for some friction out and didn't get it.
I think he threw it exactly where he thought he needed to make that spare, and there's so much oil down the lane that it just didn't make it all the way over there.
And we talk about spare shooting all the time and throwing it straight at spares.
2-pin nudge, but stands.
Bill, let's revisit that whiff on the 248. Even with the friction to the right, do you hook it at that, or do you throw it straight?
That's a really, really tough thing, because you know, you're with the back pin, with the 8-pin there, you want to hook it to create that angle to get that pin, but you just don't know what the ball is going to do, because you're aiming at the pocket, and the 2/8's on the other side of it, and you don't know how it's going to get over there. So it's a tough call. At this point, I would probably, you would just go with your gut, whatever that said. I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there.
Stat back. Check out those numbers for each here. Most important stat, of course, the 11-pin lead. Foundation frame here for Tom. He's not won on tour in 4 years. Just a long-time veteran, only 1 career title. It could change here in suburban Detroit. Ninth frame, big shots. Double wood 2-8.
Slick down lane on the left, and if you get a little quick, that's what's going to happen.
How did I strike on that
The location's good, the speed's bad.
Just too firm.
Yep.
This lane is getting really tricky. If we had one more game on this pair, you would see some ugliness on this left lane.
Just really surprised at how low the scoring pace has been on an extremely high-scoring Wolf pattern. They're slow for it. Doherty in the driver's seat, though.
Couldn't do that again if I tried.
Frankie has not struck the last 2 shots on this right lane, both ringing 10s and an open in the 8th. He can strike out for 224 and shut out Tom Doherty. Tom Doherty's best now, 223.
Tomcat watch. Frankie gets the help on the 7th pin. Big strike in the 9th.
Well, in a similar situation a couple matches ago with Chris Barnes. Barnes could have stepped up and thrown a couple strikes in the 10th frame and beat Doherty. He didn't get it done. Can the rookie, Francois Lavoie, become just the 2nd player to ever win on the tour from Canada? 3 strikes and he wins.
Joining Graham Fall. Looking for history. Looking for a strike. Oh, my goodness. 2, 8, 10. What happened, Bill?
I thought it was a really good shot.
Yep.
This lane is just getting really ugly, and it just needed to be slower. And sometimes it's hard in this 32-foot pattern to get yourself to realize you have to throw it much slower, because you know if you miss a little bit left, it could miss the head pin on the other side.
Really tough spare. 10-pin stands.
Tom Doherty's going to win.
And 192.
He's going to win his 2nd title.
On the bench, Tom Doherty sees an incredible break. Just 5 pins necessary for Tom's 2nd ever PBA Tour title.
Needs 5. He's going to chuck it right down the middle.
Right down the middle to get 9 to get a PBA title. Tom Doherty has won the 2016 PBA Wolf Open from here in Allen Park. How sweet it is. Tom, terrific today.
Thank you, Hammer, for believing in me. Storm, you should have never let me go. You should have never let me go. You threw 4 at me, and I took them all down. Better luck next time.
Tom Doherty has done it.
Good bowling this week, man. Good luck in the next one.
The youngster, Francois Lavoie, will have to wait for his 1st ever title. It's been a long wait for Tom Doherty to lift that trophy. A champion on the PBA Tour once again, Tom Doherty.
Thank you, Hammer. Number 1, nothing hits like a hammer. I think I proved it.
Overcoming adversity and 4 tough opponents, Tom Doherty has done it, winning in Detroit. Tom Doherty, first time since 2012, 2nd time in his career. Needed 5, got 9 there, and that wrapped up his win over Francois Lavoie. And a big hug from his ball rep, Mike Calderon. Randy, joined by our winner.
Thanks, Dave. Tom, congratulations on title number 2. It's been a few years, but describe the feeling.
Oh, man, it's awesome. It never gets old, you know. You never want to be a one-hit wonder, so I wanted to get number 2 for sure, and it's everything I thought it was. It's awesome.
Describe the emotional roller coaster that went on today with the oil pattern. You started with urethane, you stayed with urethane, and it worked. What was going on out there?
They just got a little tricky right after practice, right before the first game, and I had a really good look in practice, throwing it kind of up the back of it. And then in the middle of that game, it kind of went away, and I was completely lost for 2 games. Fortunately, everybody was. Chris got off to a bad start, or he probably beats me. And then in between the games 2 and games 3, I talked to Mike Calderon, the ball rep, and we changed the way I tilted it a little bit and put some more surface on it, went to a weaker one with more surface, and it was able to float through the front a little more without it bouncing off. So then I had a good look.
Well, great strategy, obviously paid off. This is the best year of your career. Does Tom Doherty now need to be mentioned, even though it's early, in the Player of the Year race?
Well, I got a couple more tournaments this week. If I can get them locked up, maybe. I mean, I've made a bunch of shows this year. It's just on TV, it's hard to climb the ladder, and it seems like I qualify first. But I think I'm here, and I'm ready.
Tom, congratulations.
Thank you.
Third TV appearance of this season for Tom Doherty. He comes up big. Be sure to join us next week for the PBA Bear Open at 9 o'clock Eastern. Beginning on Friday, log on to PBA's Extra Frame video subscription service to check out the previous show for next week's PBA Bear Open. Congratulations goes to Tom Doherty, winner of the 2016 PBA Wolf Open. My partner Randy Peterson, our guest analyst, PBA star Bill O'Neill. It's Dave Ryan saying so long from Thunderbolt Lanes in Detroit. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSSports.com. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Big congratulations to Tom Doherty, a winner on the PBA Tour today.